Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Live on Sunday. It is I, your gracious host, King Crowder, better known to you as one of the most opinionated people you know. Now, what I like to out of all the stuff we hear about in our society in America, I love to get into information, dive and simplify. Why does this Sunday Alive on Sunday matter? Because I think it's in your life where we all got to get ideas, what we're working on, uh, and also what we see in America currently. I reside in the great state of Texas, in the United States of America. I am Black American, descendants of freedom slaves, father and paternal side, one from Hollands, Virginia. Shout out to the Crowder gang. King Crowder is my last name, performed it, built my own channel, working my way up, man, using a social media medium. Today's lesson, man, if you've never seen me before, I just want to tell you welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad that he be here with you, man. I enjoy coming here on Sunday, chopping up game with my people. Number one, because it's a time for me to actually confess and talk about what I'm going on. Number two, it's a great time to just chop it up and catch it up with your people, man. Remember, Sunday is the only day where I truly rest, y'all. I am not a guy that sleeps in late. I'm a very motivated, ambitious guy, like to get at it. Sunday is the only day where I have arms, where I allow my body to completely rest, sleep, be lazy, all that you want to do. Sunday should be your day of meal prep, mental prep, whatever you need to do to get your body revitalized and refocused. Sunday should be your day of working. Remember, I do believe in the work 6 days, rest 1 day philosophy. So I'm constantly at work Monday to Saturday. They could be doing something personally. They could be working. They could be writing. That could be multiple venues. They could be helping people, having conversations, speaking, coaching them up. Whatever that needs to be done, man, I truly believe that a man is supposed to do that. But Sunday is that period we reflect, y'all. So if you have not done it this week, look back at your 7 days. You look at, man, did I get everything done? Did I get as much in my month of July that I want to get done? Because we enter in August now. Me personally, I always like to lead by example. My July wasn't that great. It wasn't. I didn't realize it until after the storm hit that, man, them 7 days where I really didn't have power, really couldn't figure stuff out, really put my goals behind. Did I get things done? I had to cancel one of my book signing events. I had to cancel one of my promotion things I had going on. We had to reestablish, throw away a lot of stuff, rebuild up. So you don't notice until the end of the month how far you are behind. So it's some things that I definitely got to catch up on, that I got to keep crunching. Got some travel dates coming in, got another booking coming up. So a lot of things that you see, this is that period when you get to actually reflect and see where it's at. So my July personally was not that great. It was okay. I would grade myself maybe a C+, even though I had to do what all I had to do. But do I think me having to cancel 3 major events, me not hitting my numbers on my socials and other things that I wanted to do, you can't grade on the curve. You got to keep it 100. So C+ even for myself, man. This is that period that you got to grade yourself too. Don't cheat yourself. Don't lie. Don't say that I got everything done. And if I didn't, make sure that you write the checks, that you cash them. Speaking of which, our boy Noah Lyles wrote a check and he cashed it. If you are not familiar with Noah Lyles, let me go ahead and share the screen to you. You know what I mean? Again, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let me go ahead and I'm going to get this thing popping. Noah Lyles, shout out to the DMB. Let me go ahead and get the screen. It's going a little slow right now. We're about to get it. Noah Lyles, y'all, is an Olympian. But this brother is the real deal. Let me go ahead and pull him up, y'all. I'm getting there. My bad. I'm getting there. I don't know why they ain't showing it on the screen. Let's see. It's in my tabs. Noah Lyles, y'all. Man, this brother is the first American sprinter to win a gold in the 100 meters in almost 20 years. Noah Lyles wrote a check, cashed it, stood on business, was cocky, and delivered. Everybody else can say what they say. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he said it. I don't like his bravado. I like anybody to stand up for what they believe in. You know the reason why I love people like that so much? Because your word in this current climate environment we live in don't mean nothing. What you say, people don't have that standard with that. And I don't know if because how I grew up and I had my dad emphasize that to me. Men that emphasize their word, stand on their business, and do what they say they deserve the admiration, deserve the love, the upstanding, deserve the conversation. And this brother Noah Lyles wrote a check, cashed it, took it to the bank, stepped on these brothers' neck by saying, America, I got us. Didn't know his DMV, didn't know his background, didn't know anything prior to this gentleman. But I remember him for his NBA criticism comments by saying the world champion stage. Hey, he said that he could live by it, and guess what? He can own it because he did something that has not been done in the United States and America in over 20 years. He won the gold in the 100. That means right now, he is the fastest man on the planet. Let me say it again. Right now, Noah Lyles is the fastest man on the planet. Love, hate, dislike. I don't like his style. I don't like his bravado. You got to respect it, baby. He wrote a check. He cashed the check. He put it in direct deposit mode. He made sure that everybody had to respect what he was saying. I ain't say like. I ain't say wanted to get along with. I said that you gotta make him respect it. Man, is that I gotta like you. You know? I gotta like how you win it. I gotta have everybody to be the same decorum. No, you don't. Even if I don't like it, even if he is not my cup of tea, we gotta get past that. My feelings won't let me give this brother credit. My feelings, my emotions, man, stop it. I got a quote that I love to hear, man. I can't remember which professor taught me this, but it's so true. When I meet guys and say, I don't like politics. No, you do like politics. You just don't like politics you disagree with. It don't matter if you support it or if you like the lasting message. What you got to do is say, give up to the brother. He is an American living his dreams. Let's keep going to see what the article says right now. Stay with me now. Noah Lyles didn't get out the blocks well. He didn't. His reaction time tied for the worst 8th of the man in that field. Slow starts cost him in the first round and then again the semifinal. Such felt like a deceitful bastard in the stellar field. Among the most loaded Olympian history, Jamaican Kingston Thomas and Oblique Sewell were putting up crazy times. American Fred Kessler was on his game. Even Dominican Lamont Marcel Jacobs. To see Lyles in 5th place in the 20 minutes felt like a downer. It just goes to show you, Lyles said, races aren't won with the start. But a poor start might be a fortitude because even all his braggadocious, Lyles is the ultimate competitor at his core. He might come across as arrogant, showy, and a recipe for featuring, but a teaspoon of substance. But Lyles is a dog in the toughest scene. I don't think he's arrogant. I think he is a guy that expresses himself. Why do we throw the word arrogant out there for people that have confidence, y'all? He ain't said nothing arrogant. He wasn't dismissive. He just believed in himself. Do you notice that people that do not have self-confidence always throw that word arrogant on people? Just because his confidence offends you does not mean he's arrogant. It means you got to deal with something that you got to deal with in your personal life. I always like the bravado guys, if they live up to it. Arrogant people don't live up to the standard of expectation. People that live up to the standard of expectation don't get that title thrown on them. Let me keep going. Thriller the world-class earners coming off consecutive losses. Has summoned his absolute best. The slow start triggered his greatest asset. Lyle's refusal to lose turned his loaded final into a historical one. It's the fastest run he's ever ran, 9.79 seconds. Technically, it was 9.784. He's an American first gold medalist in 100 meters in 20 years. The world champions in 2013 and now an Olympic champion in 2024. He is the undisputed fastest man in the world. Thompson took silver with a 9.78. Fred Kessler, who won the silver in Tokyo, added a bronze to his resume, which is personal best of a 9.85. 5 of the top sprinters were their best beasts, season's best. Seville ran a 9.9 and finished last. Just a ridiculous outset of sprinters. But Lyle said the moment is never too big for him. Instead, made for him. They don't get bigger than what happens on Sundays inside the France race. On the biggest stage of his life, with the globe watching, and the venue delivered chills. Noah Lyles wrote a check, hit his mouth, and cashed it in front of everybody. If ain't nobody else gonna tell you, Mr. Lyles, I'm gonna clap for you, baby. Ain't nobody else gotta give it to you, but you let your mouth write a check and you cashed it. Love, hate, dislike. People didn't like Floyd, maybe for that same reason. I've never hated Floyd. Floyd lived up to it. You hate people that are talk a lot and are not good. I love people that apply that pressure to them. Do you know how hard it is to make a statement and overachieve it with other men watching? Do you know how difficult that is? Noah Lyles showed you in real time, man, hey, he's dedicated to his craft. He's dedicated to who he is as a man, his stature, his work ethic, everything that he got going on. Noah Lyles is showing that. And you ain't got to like it. I always tell people, man, you ain't got to like what the people are saying. But the effort, the technicalities, what they do must be respected. And we get that confused a lot. I like this person. Hey, I want to understand this person. I want to make sure that I must be acknowledged or something by this person. Don't none of that matter to me, man. The reason why I love sports is the only place in which your talent and work ethic must align together. Of course, you're talented, right? That's a given. But even if you're talented, if your work ethic don't align to what you're doing, it don't matter. Noah Lyles is talented, but that boy's work ethic, his dedication, his discipline was showed in that race. It was shown. So, Americans, we beat a record. We won the gold in first time in 20 years. I had no idea it was that long. Shout out to you, brother. DMB. Stand up. Next. Let's dive in to the USA basketball. I gotta ask something, y'all. Is Steve Kerr overrated? I mean, his decision making, his conferences, his statements. Steve Kerr be having me looking at this moment like this. Like, Steve, you know what you're doing? Was Mark Jackson really that good that you got to step in and just lead the team? The plays, the substitutions, the comments. I don't know if I want Kevin Durant to start. I don't know if Ed Edwards is that good enough. I don't know. Steve Kerr, what are you doing, bro? You benched Jason Tatum. You benched Jason Tatum. You have a clear bias towards NBA players. You make statements and accusations. Kerr, you look like you have an agenda. And everybody might not want to say this, but is Steve Kerr really that good of a coach? Not saying he's horrible, but is he Ty Lue? Is he Coach Spo? Or did he get a good situation that was already handpicked and ready-made and made the best out of it? Has Steve Kerr ever, post having 4 All-NBA players, been that great? I don't know, man. People making statements a lot, right? These Olympics show you 2 things. How great LeBron James and Anthony Davis are. How bad the Lakers are doing. How limited some of these athletes can be. And who knows what they're doing and who don't. LeBron James, hand down, you can see his talent level being greater than most of the other athletes. He is older, right? Clearly. 82 game season, he can't do it because he's 40 years old. But talent level, LeBron is the best passer, hands down. He's nowhere near as athletic as Ant anymore. Nowhere near close. Ant Edwards got that down. He is Himothy. But passing, setting up all that stuff, it's amazing to see. Joel Embiid still looks hurt. I'm not going to judge him too heavy. Hallie got a lot of work on his game and stuff to do. Ant, elite. KD scoring wise, phenomenal. Steph shooting, phenomenal. I don't think Steph Curry should be starting that much in the starting lineup. I know it's crazy to say, but that's just me. I think Steph should come off the bench too. I don't think Steph should get as much love and accusation that he does. I think Ant should come on the starting lineup a couple times a game. Just my opinion. Ant, Steph, and KD, what's the difference in shooting? I don't know the difference in Olympics. KD's as much as a sharp shooter, and he's better. You can see Steve Kerr's bias is really coming out. His statements. Let's go ahead and look at his statements right now together, y'all. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. We still going in hot. USA basketball. I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports to watch, y'all. But let's look at Steve Kerr's most recent comments. Hey, Steve Kerr. Who is he, man? 58-year coach. I didn't know he was more than 11. I had no idea. He probably was a military family. We were married for a minute, the whole 9. But Steve Kerr has been criticized on his lineup change. Who he wants to get in the game. The physical training tools. Steve Kerr has got a couple of passes, man. Has he created issues in the USA team? Has his biases he's had since he was a Golden State Warriors head coach? Has it started to show? These Olympics do 2 things, y'all. It shows you your flaws. It shows you where you hurt at. Jason Tatum had a humbling experience. I think it's going to help him. KD was very eye-opening in his performance. LeBron, it shows that under all circumstances and talent levels, he's that great. AD, both sides of the ball, is amazing. Joel Embiid is limited. Great center, needs the free throw line, but Joel Embiid settles a lot. Is he hurt? Can he play different roles, different positions? I don't know. Like Joe's game, think he's definitely deserving of the things he's gotten, but he's going to have a lot of pressure next season. Him, PG, and Maxey got to make it to the finals. If you don't, Embiid, that most hated player in the league, all those accusations will start to enhance. They will. And I think a lot of these players that's going to these games, it's been phenomenal for their career in certain ways. But the storylines and the buildup they're going to leave post here are going to be eye-opening. They are. And you don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to like everything. You don't have to think that everything that's being said is meant for you, or everything has a certain mindset or thought process about it. But what you got to do is understand that it's going to be a lot of helpful points, y'all. It is. It is. And what I'm learning from it holistically is this, y'all. USA games can have a benefit to you, or they can hurt you. They can. So, excuse my language. So one thing you gotta learn now. I'm over here trying to type and find it, y'all. As I'm speaking to y'all. Excuse me. You gotta be ready for it. And if you ain't ready, you ain't prepared, you're not gathering your thoughts, you're not gathering yourself, the lack of preparations and issues will be shown. To wrap up my thoughts about USA basketball team, it's a lot more storylines coming in after all of this. So I guess the eye-opening research will be very detrimental and will be very showing. Next up, you don't have to like politics. Like I said, everybody loves this line. I love to hear it, y'all. I don't like politics. I don't watch politics. I don't know anything about politics. You do. You just watch politics you agree with. Everybody must be in tune about what's going on. If you are working class adults, I love to get this lesson. I love to summarize it quick. Politics is a discussion and a subject of who gets what. No matter how you feel about the subject, no matter what you think, you got to be aware of what's going on. So when I give helpful comments, helpful discourse, you must understand that I'm not giving it to you in a way that you should vote type of ideology. What I try to do is inform you, right? And when you inform people, what are you doing is that you're highlighting what's going on right now. And I believe knowing the full story about things is very important. You know what I mean? And as much as we have controversial figures, whenever I hear things that resonate with me, I try to share it with y'all. Why? Because it's important. And this isn't an anti-Kamala video, but when you hear people say truth, there's no feelings attached to it. Love or hate this brother. He said some very honest things in this video that I want us to watch together.
And when Negroes say, who do we vote for? The lesser of the two evils. Which one is the lesser of the two? Which one is lesser?
Even when I hear things like that, lesser of something, I hear that on the presidential side, right? But nobody talks about the local side. Presidential side is voted upon by the electoral college, and they are voted for your electoral college members in your area. That's who that's voted upon. The local election goes by popular votes. We got to remember that. So when you hear that discussion, when people say these things like that, you must understand that directly more than presidential.
I can't tell which one is lesser. They're both bad. They're both bad. We know Kamala Harris don't like black men because she made her whole career locking them up. She's married to a white man. And let me say this, Art. This could backfire on the Democratic Party. I'm going to tell you why. To white America, Kamala Harris to them is Barack Obama with a female's face. Even though Obama has not endorsed her. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Obama has endorsed her. And it's very true, y'all. Obama's name in these streets, in my generation especially, is pretty bad. I think most people realize, especially from my generation, it's kind of crazy how the generational gaps is the way it is. But they don't view former President Barack Obama as positive as he once was. I don't know when the change started to happen so much, but it is not good. They don't view him, the reverence, the admiration is not there. He may get open love, but the just disconnectedness is very strong. It is. And when you see things like that, you got to be mindful. The streets talk. And when the streets say something.
The same woman who went on international television, Art, let me remind you, the same woman who went on.
When you hear the streets giving you examples, people got to understand. Take heed to that. When the streets tell you what they're feeling, who they're not feeling, who they're supporting, who they're not supporting, even if you disagree, take heed to that. A lot of the time we get caught up in the, well, I know what they're saying, but I don't agree with it. It's not about you. Optically, imagery, socially, mentally, what is they saying as a collective? You can have small spots and spurts speaking, right? But if collectively, if people are having an ideology about this situation, about this, you listen. You listen. And when you listen, you don't listen just to hear the talking points. You listen to hear, why is that feeling that way? Why is the mentality and attitude this way? Number two, what changes need and will have to happen? What changes? What will we have to see in the future to make sure it goes on a positive footing?
On international television, Art, let me remind you, about a year or two ago and said America is not a racist country. You want me?
When people say statements like that, it lets me know they don't know America's history. There's nothing wrong with saying America's ideology is like cornbread, right, y'all? Apple pie. Race is in our history, y'all. People that avoid that comment are very uneducated, and they're very much afraid to talk about race. A race is everything in America. A race affects us every statement. Remember, race, ethnicity, nationality, they affect us all. People that say that we don't have racial battles in this country usually come from an immigrant background. Usually they're very uneducated about history. No matter where you are, it still affects us to this day. It does. The spirit is not broken. It festers. This subject keeps festering on because we have not broken to the point where it's an open discussion and dialogue about race in this country.
Want me to go vote for a so-called black woman who went on international television?
And the point about her ethnicity is a huge component, y'all. No matter what you think, these people are not lying. When they bring up that she is of Indian, Asian heritage, it's a valid point. And people can't get mad by it. All they got to do is understand. She has said multiple times she is that way, right? Asian heritage, her mother, her name. It's valid. And until she just owns it and stop trying to toe that line as I'm East Indian American, look, it ain't going to sell. It ain't going to work. The reason why many people have negative experiences from East Indians sometime in this country. They do. And when you say that, you isolate people. You do. Transparency, authenticity, and honesty will always win. I'm a South Indian. That's how I choose to identify. Cool. Stop then pandering and saying you're black. If she stopped doing that, y'all, I think it would help her more. Because that seems to be a major talking point. A point of you are disconnected enough to say this and use it as a cloak. Remember, black in America means something different than outside of the rest of the country. Race, ethnicity, nationality. Let's keep going.
Television and told the world that America is not a racist country. She spit in the face of the family of Trayvon Martin. She spit in the face of the family of Breonna Taylor. She spit in the face of the family of Michael Brown, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Amir Locke, Dante. We can go on and on.
All those people he was naming, if you do not know, you're not educated on it, those are the ones that have experienced racial hate crimes in America. All of those people were died tragically, could be by law enforcement, other racial crimes. What he's speaking on is how the Floyd Policing Act still has not been passed. And I do not believe that the George Floyd Act will have as much groundbreaking, but there needs to be an anti-black crime bill. It has to be. Until we address these rights, that wrongs that are currently happening, this subject is not going away. It's not. We know the solution. We know the answer, but we are afraid to confront it. Why are we afraid to confront it? It's like anybody. When trauma is there, the first step in getting past it is number one, to acknowledge. Number two, to provide corrective action. Number three, have a spirit that we're going to fix it. We're still on number one. We have not acknowledged it.
On Tamir Rice, all the Africans murdered by police, which are state-sanctioned executions. Let us be clear. The police are agents of the state. When the police kills a black person, that is a state-sponsored execution. And in response to all this racism, the execution of George Floyd, this part-time black woman says America is not racist.
It's a very harsh statement, but it's very true. State employees killing other people, and I know it's hard to be a police officer, man. Let me not just bag on my boys, man. Some of the boys out there, it's hard. Law enforcement job, man. I've met some great police officers, but it's a hard job. And I believe if you watched my last live, I broke it down in detail why it's such a hard job. Talking about Miss Messi's family, R.I.P. to Miss Sonia Messi. Hope you find peace and happiness in your family. But law enforcement right now is not an ideal career for any American. And the pressure, the things they go to, makes the job hard. I don't know how you can correct it and fix it. I do believe you must start with community policing, maybe changing some codes and requirements. But the state-sponsored killing is a real thing. It is. And until we acknowledge that and understand how real that is, Dr. Umar is absolutely correct.
And when I say part-time art, I'm not poking fun at her because she's being mixed race. I want to be clear. I'm poking.
And I don't think it's mixed race is a thing. What we must understand, I love to point out together to people, remember, race, ethnicity, and nationality are different. They are different. She does not identify with Black American legacy. That's what they need to start emphasizing. Not the exterior. Nationality, ethnicity. Here. You can't teach that camaraderie. You can't teach that. That is where the disconnect comes from. Not like us, the tethering. That's what all those words, that's what it is. And I know it's hard concept. Sometimes people wrapping around their mind, but you can feel it. You can feel it. You know what's kind of funny, man? I never thought myself, light-skinned brother, we in. I never thought of myself as a representation of what we think Black is, right? But when I go to professional meetings and I'm around other people that are Black from different cultures, I can tell a difference, and white Americans can tell a difference. It's very eye-opening because they will tell you, Terrell, you are what I think of when I think of Black American, culturally, ethnically, confidence, socially, swagger. I never thought about any of that, right? But there is an expectations even in their mind. And they'll tell you, you are what I think about. You can tell a difference. There's a difference between you and somebody from a different country. I never thought about that before. I never did. I never thought about how the culture, the confidence, the mentality is something that's real that can't be duplicated. So when they say those statements and those comments, that's what they're referring to. They're referring to the swagger of a Black American man, the personality, the attitude, the everything that comes with it. That is what people are talking about. So when you hear those comments of why it does not feel the same, you got to remember that is the part they're talking about. Black American men have a certain energy to them. The upbringing, the socializing, the how we come up, the swagger, what's implemented through our fathers, the attitude, the personality, the lingo, the coming up with things. You can't duplicate it. So I understand it more now. Back then, I didn't really understand it when they would say it. And it's not as something that they try to use the word divisive for separating. I just know that that is a different attitude. I love to use the example of Candace Owens. You could definitely tell she comes from a different type of Black background. It's most likely not from this country, right? And the reason why you can tell that, she doesn't act like any of our sisters with her energy. You know what I'm saying? Our sisters with my energy, you could tell through my mom, my wife, my cousins, they have a different level of energy. So when you speak about subjects important, cautious, hard, tough to digest, whatever you want to call it, you can have that conversation because you are connected with it. It is authentically in you. I don't have to replicate it. I don't have to read the stories. I feel it. And when you feel it, your authenticity is shown. Your words, your vocabulary, your energy, your mindset, all that truly hits in that type of way. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to really replicate that, but I've had that in my life the entire time. It's very interesting. So shout out to you, Barnacle Boy. I'm glad you agree with that, but it's true. Once you combine that and you feel it, it's a different level of understanding. And that is what the American people are talking about. That is why the Kamala Harris and the former President Trump thing is such a deep dive, because Trump is coming across as authentic, y'all. I'm here, bigot, whatever you want to call me, I am an American. Good, bad, or indifferent, it resonates with people. You ain't got to like it, but I'm standing 10 toes down. I'm beating my chest. I'm giving my opinion. You don't have to like it, respect it, or want to be a part of it. But I'm going to tell you how I feel, big dog. Good, bad, or just like the low line situation. I'm writing a check and I'm going to cash it. People don't understand that politics, life is all about showmanship. You know what I'm saying? All about showmanship. Your showmanship for how you do things, your showmanship for how you go about things is all incredibly true. Gentlemen in the comments, isn't it Kamala known for putting tons of black men? That's true. I don't think that's the only thing she's known for, but you have a great point. Does she have a reputation, let's say that, of doing those things you mentioned on? Now that California is legal, no, we can go from the whole United States with that. I'm not just going to give her that bad stain, but we could put the whole United States. Why has weed ever been illegal? Come on, man. We all can go get weed down the street if we want it. Let's keep it real, man. Why was it ever illegal? Now, did she go ahead and press charges? Did she go ahead and make her bones? Did she want to boost her DA record? Because you got to remember, y'all, DAs want to have a high convicted percentage. The higher their conviction rate, the more they can go to their next step in their political career. All of them are aspirational. So when you look at things like that, you got to understand she was doing whatever to get that term that she was hard and tough on crime. Now, did it help that it was in Oakland? And Oakland is a city that has the problems it has to this day? No. Did it help that her background, what it was, and now she's trying to pretend like she's the black card? No. But let's not act like every DA in every city doesn't do hard on crime tactics. Come on, man. We got to. So I'm going to be fair always. Being fair is yes, but not her only thing. Her main thing is she has a problem with Barnacle Bot. She has a relationship problem. Relatability problem. She has an authenticity problem, and she's going against the ultimate person who is authentic, who is Donald Trump. That's the main thing. It is not good, bad. It's not philosophy. It's not this. It is authenticity, somebody you don't know. Who's going to win? Always the authenticity. I am the authenticity person. That's why I'm so hard for that. I'm not the most educated. I'm not the most well-spoken, but I am the person that is truly authentic and transparent by my beliefs, my philosophy, and what's going on. Now, everybody doesn't seem to think that way all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't seem to think that way. Everybody doesn't seem to have an ideology. Everybody doesn't seem to have that masculine effect. But what you must understand is that those are the parameters and things we discuss about. Have you seen her leaks? No, I haven't. I'm not educated on that right there, man. I will have to educate myself. I will do that later. Anything I'm not super educated on, I don't dive into heavy detail about. So I always give you, like the court system, you are innocent until proven guilty. Once I see the information, once I digest it, I think about it, I process it, then you give heavy, opinionated opinions on it, right? But until then, keep it neutral. What I will say again, going back to the video, I'm gonna keep going to the subject. You are seeing what the streets and what the people are saying, not an agenda, but what they're feeling right now. And even if you don't like what people are feeling, you got to be wise enough to listen. Good, better, and different. Like we keep heading to you again. You got to listen. Let's keep going with the video.
Fun at her because she can rarely be found speaking up for black people. My issue ain't her being mixed race. Nobody's responsible for how they come into this world. My issue with her is not identifying with her people. I remember another interview I saw with Kamala Harris, Art, and she said, somebody asked her, what are y'all going to do for black people? And she said, we can't pass laws just for black people. She said this.
That is one of her most videos y'all ever heard her. And the reason why that would be such a damning video is when she said that comment and they had the anti-black, anti-Asian thing going on, and they approved that line and they approved other stuff for the illegal immigrants. If I was Donald Trump, I would be hammering home that point. I would. There is no way you can ever get black male support but a video like that hanging around and you don't retract that statement. You can't. You cannot get any black male support with you saying I can't do anything with you without seeing how you're going to go about it. Another person asked about the man, this dude, you crazy, bro. She got a fatty. You terrible. I'm not even going to comment. I ain't seen it yet, y'all. I don't even know what that means. Lord have mercy. Respect the married woman, y'all. I don't know. I'm just saying. Again, staying on topic. These guys are here spamming, talking about, have you seen the leaks? I ain't seen it. So, again, her political standpoints will be affected heavily. They will. Excuse me. And when you see the heavy influence of things going around, you will begin to see long-term how they are having an effect on us. You know? So, let's dive in some more, y'all. Now that we've seen that video being passed, now we have seen multiple about this person. Now you got to understand how we project this going into the election cycle. The election cycle, remember, is the electoral college. You know what I'm saying? Somebody send me this. Somebody send me the link for the leaks. Let me see the leaks, man. Everybody keep telling me about these leaks. Hold on. I'm about to stop and look them up now. Hold on. Kamala Harris leaks. Is that what y'all keep telling me? Let me look. Leaks. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't even see the leaks, y'all. Hold on. Y'all keep talking. I don't see the leaks. They keep making me stop. Hey, so let's keep going, y'all. Now that we got the point about Kamala Harris's main problems, right? Now we must transition to why we see things. And the Donald Trump interview was kind of rude, was kind of shocking. But the one thing that Trump did, y'all, I'm going to say it again, y'all. He always appears to come across as authentic. And in this interview right here, love, dislike, or hate the man, the way he responded to this young lady, fair use, man. Fair use. Was eye-opening. Let's get into it.
Opportunities like these, both to inform our reporting. A lot of people did not think.
I hate these ads. I'm gonna skip it in a second, y'all, once it pops up. There we go.
It was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe Black district attorneys You've attacked Black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking Black supporters to vote for you, why should Black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First.
Love, I hate that, bro, man. Look, he Kamala Harris. And I'm laughing because it was not a how you doing, what's up. It wasn't none of that. And I don't think people understand how witty this dude is, man, on his feet. I'm gonna keep letting it play.
First question. You don't even say hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I can't.
And he goes right for the juggler. I gotta peep something when Trump speaks. He always speaks very simple, easy, digestible language. He's actually a great communicator when he talks. Simple words, direct, pauses, emphasizing his words. And I mean, what he said to this reporter was facts.
Came here in good spirit. I love the Black population of this country. I've done so much for the Black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for Black workers and Black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically Black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala.
He said, where my ops at? Mid-interview, where are my ops?
I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong.
I would love
if you could.
When I talk about stepping on their neck out the gate,
It's a very nasty question. I have answered the question. I have been the best president for the Black population since Abraham Lincoln.
stop the cap, Trump. Stop the cap.
That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that?
Look, when they use that word DEI hire, I don't know how disrespectful you is when you hear it. We all know what the word mean, right? It mean nigga. Excuse my language. Excuse my French. That's what it mean. But they are coming for her saying these things, man. And this lady in the light blue, you look good, girl, but you don't need to interview this man ever again. You did a bad job. I'm gonna let it play a little bit more, then I gotta go to my next subject. But you did a bad job. Ain't nobody else gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Trump cooked you. He was ready. He came out energetic. He spoke his mind. He mentioned how y'all was late. And I want y'all to remember something. It's all authentic. He believes what he's saying. That's the difference. Let's keep going.
acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir,
of
I'm
that.
asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris
Man, that man is a massive.
is only on the
he on her
ticket because
neck.
she is a black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe
I
that
think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really
have
don't
said?
know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length, and we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that.
Well, you told me it was a long.
Man, shorty in the light blue. Man. Damn, shorty, that look bad. Ain't nobody else gonna tell you that man came out. Listen, when you invite Mr. Trump on, President Trump, former president, you have to be prepared. When you go into people that are authentically speaking, their voice will resonate more. It showed. And I think when we talk about this presidential discussion, y'all, that is the main point we're hitting and missing on. Authenticity versus ideology. Those are the main points. One person is coming off very authentic. The other person is coming off as they're trying to make things happen. That is literally what the discussion about this union and presidential discussion is all about. When we get into the policies and everything later on, that's going to matter. It's always likability, personality, confidence, and who can lead this nation. What we got to remember, y'all, is that Trump is building loyalty among his people. He is. The loyalty that Donald Trump is building cannot be stopped. You could love or hate anything about what's going on right now, but you got to respect his admiration and his followers he got. And that comes from him building, creating with him. Now, it's racism and all that stuff. They're all racist. When they say it like it's different from each other, man, the Dixiecrats or the Democrats, no history. But what he's doing right now will have to be learned throughout history. Build, isolate, simplify, rinse, wash, and repeat. I'm going to say right now, remember, y'all, local politics should be your main focus. Should. State, local, then the national level. If your state and local are in disarray, that is what you should be on. The national is the fun-loving, it's for the zingers, it's for the headlines. We get it. But that should not be an emphasized point. You cannot say what your philosophy is. I'm never going to disagree with. But have your own. Are you not voting? Are you voting? Are you picking a candidate? Whatever your focus point should be what you inform yourself on. Black Americans are telling you what they want. Black new hate crime bill, reparations. White Americans are telling you what they want. Closing up the borders, they're telling you. Listen, try to give, provide. That's how you win. Period. Moving on. Everyone has been real close about this subject, y'all, that I've noticed. As someone that is going into the home ownership phase of his life, shout out to my wife, she graduates this December, y'all, that is going into the home ownership of his life. The economy's slowing down. Y'all, we are in nobody's saying it now, but I'm going to tell you right now. Why? It's a big deal. We were looking at home prices a year from now compared to now. They're cut in half. Homes are $100,000 cheaper in Houston, Texas. Realtors have not sold homes in 3+ months. They are giving away loans, everything to the economy. We're getting emails saying you are pre-approved now. Now, we're nowhere to that process because we're still trying to transition, get her graduated, etc., right? But what we are seeing right now, even on our end, our point of view, I can see the gaps. I can see how we are seeing repossessions up. I can see how businesses are going to slow down and close. All these restaurants, businesses, if you're doing anything in the entertainment field right now, slow down. You need to go with the core members of society. They're going out there recession proof. Anything entertainment, anything fun, cut it out. All of these fun activities, once the economy hit bad, will be gone. Unless you are doing affordable, cheap venues or events, you're going to be closed. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen, man. You may not see it right now, but if you're charging or you're doing exuberant prices, people are not going to be able to come to your venue anymore. I'm telling you, affordable 90s, early 2000s style of venues are going to survive. Anybody that's doing the absorbent things are going to be cannibalized. People are not going to have the discretionary income. People are going to want to have fun. House parties, house venues are going to become a thing again. We're going to see those things start to pop back up. If house prices are already down $100,000 plus in these cities, that's in my city. That's still a growing market. Imagine cities where there is no growth. We're going to see things go down. We have saw highest prices in spring. All these are suburbs of Houston, Texas. Spring, Pearland, Cypress, they have all been cut down by $100,000. Now, if that's $100,000 in a metropolitan city that it has influx of people migrating to it, imagine what they're doing in rural counties. Imagine. If we are having slowdown in our size cities, imagine what smaller, compact cities are going to do. Recession. We're going to see economy lose jobs. We're going to see people be holding to their wages. We're either going to see war or we're going to see active cutting of jobs and living. It's coming, yo. I'm telling you, it's coming. So, what you do in these times? Order your guns, live below your mean, have cash reserves on hands, be prepared. All of these places where you see it's a certain type of lifestyle living, they're going to go abandoned. It's scary, but it's true. Pull your things together. Safeguard yourself. Know that you will have to use the resources on what you have. But we're already seeing early. As someone that deals with the construction industry and is around it, building is slowed down. Repaints, manufacturing, rebuilds. Only the top percenters are getting it. A lot of people are DIYing their homes, pressure washing, everything. Everything that you see people sub out at certain times when the economy is flourishing, it's going down. My generation of home buyers, which are starting to go into the market, you are starting to see them slow back and go back a bit. Home ownership is not what it was for my parents' generation. As a millennial, I can tell you that home affordability as a single person is completely unaffordable. If you have a couple, which we have, you will have to come. The single, I'm going to make a lifestyle. We're going to see a lot of these homes be bought out, foreclosed upon, and people that have the reserves and cash flow. You're going to see the government place programs on the home ownership programs that say the rent to buy American kind of homes is going to go away. They're going to make them know that people are going to stop paying rent to them. Why wouldn't you? Stop paying rent to them and keep your cash reserves. If you are not seeing these things happening, it's going to occur, y'all. And I'm not saying all this to scare you. I'm not saying all of this to be a PSA for what's not going to happen. What I'm saying all this is you need to be aware. History repeats itself. Every 10 years, we have an economic crash. We do. We haven't had a severe one since 2008, and we didn't go down enough. This one could be severe. Most likely, it will be severe. So when I mean severe, That means 4 or 5 years until we see any type of landscaping going on in this economy. So what you need to know is that once this economy goes down, we see the struggling, we see the things happening, put money away, get you a home, live below your means, save your money. Your lifestyle will have to change. It will. Live at what you're supposed to live at, but if you are living too high where you cannot afford everything, I'm telling you, I can see it. I'm not telling you when, how, but we're going to see an economic turn going to happen in this country. It's overdue. It's good. It's a reset. It's scary. But all the BS jobs or anything like that, they're going to go away. You're going to have to need these hard-nosed working class jobs. You're going to have to. This is what's going to be. So, presidential cycle, we must know one last thing before I go on to our lasting point. Republican presidents bring war. Wartime is good. It's very economically pleasing. It is. Wartime, bullets, cigarettes. The money of war is... If you have not seen the business of war, we will educate yourself on it. Number two, the Democratic presidents are more diplomatic. We know about our overseas, what things they got going on all over there. That's not our issue, but they're there. This cycle will really influence the direction of the country. And what's so scary about it is that we don't know that if Kamala does win and she doesn't win in a convincing fashion, we could have a civil war in this country. If Trump does win, we're going to have mass deportation and escalation of the problems internationally. We don't know. It's a very scary time, and I do not believe most people understand historically going on the right now what could potentially be down the arc. But I think this reset will be much needed. And it's unfortunate, it's scary, but it's the times in life. Educate yourself. Finally, Terrence Bud Crawford is the baddest man on the boxing scene in the world. Up 4 weight classes, beat the guy handily. If Canelo has to go down and weight, Bud could beat him. He could beat him. Bud is lighter, walks around in much lighter weight, but that man is that talented brother. Good, bad, or hate him, man. You can see how technically sound, how enthusiastically he is to the landscape that he's going through. I'm not telling you what you should think. I'm not telling you how you should think. But what you need to do is get new information. Floyd was a GOAT technicality and defensively, hands down. Is Crawford an offensive and technical minded GOAT? Boxing right now, 4 weight classes, 4 different belts, 4 different divisions. Watching them fight in that card this weekend lets me know why that Nebraska-born gentleman is him. That's all I can say. Bud Crawford, hat off to you, brother. I love your work ethic. I love what you're doing to the sport. I love how you holding it down. I love how you do things. That's all I'm saying. Good, better, and different. You got to respect it, bro. I respect the hard work and talent that comes from it. Not the words, not the vocalized variety, but I respect what it takes to get in there. That's what I do. Moving on to our last point, man. If you're new to the channel, thank y'all for the chat going crazy tonight. Comment, like, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all for checking in on me on this hard discussion. I know it's uncomfortable to talk, but the reason why it's important, we got to understand that this world that we live in is very scary right now. And I know we take it lightly. We think, oh, man, it's just going on right now. It's just politics, man. It ain't going to really affect us. No. It is going to affect us. It is scary. It is eye-opening. And the reason why it is, y'all, is real. And we don't tend to think about it like that. But we got to, man. Because in this world we're going into for the next 10 years down the road, it's going to have an effect on all of us. I'm just hitting my 30s, y'all. I am. And I want to see my family, my future, and everything going down the road. I want to see it going. And what's scary about it is most people are not thinking the same way. We're making a change out of education. We're making a change out of college philosophy. It is so many mass changes that are coming in our lifetime alone. It's scary. But I don't believe people really pay attention to it. We hear it. We think we know what we're talking about. But once you hear how this world could be different compared to any other generation, it's eye-opening. So, I'm not saying to educate you. I'm sorry. I'm not scared saying all this to scare you. I'm saying all this to educate you. I'm saying all this to teach you how serious. Listen, tonight has been a teaching moment. Politics, sports, relationships, and economics. They affect us all. Your philosophy and how you go about it is yours alone. But knowing that these things have an impact on all of us should be eye-opening. It should. Make a decision for you and your family. Love for you and your family. Work hard for you and your family. Be prepared for you and your family. It's your boy King Crowder back again with another edition of Live on Sunday. I am so grateful for all my people that got to chop in about the subject. Yes, the American comedy is slowing down. Yes, the Trump v. Harris show Crawford is the new GOAT. But we discuss it. We discuss it. We break it down. We have intimate discussion. This week, more writing, more getting back in my bag, making some adjustments and updates to the pod living room, the pod discussion board, maybe a new camera. Who knows? More upgrades are on the way. I'm also working on getting my engagement up, y'all. I tend to post, my engagement tends to suck. I need to get better. My goal is 1,000 subscribers on each one of my platforms. I've never made a goal like this. Hopefully no hurricane to slow me down because we don't know. If you didn't know, it was number 7 win days last month. Hopefully, God, I ain't got to go through that again because it was really rough. That lets me know that a generator is much needed, which I will. What I learned from that is preparedness, readiness, focus, dedication, love, joy, and activation. Remember, y'all, we all go through things. We all experience life differently. While we experience life differently, it is our job to make sure we learn from it. Educate you and show you why we got to have our own discussions. Again, enjoy your week. Work hard, stay dedicated, stay disciplined. Focus, read, have fun, smile, laugh, and make sure you make memories with your family. Check on your loved ones, check on your friends, check on your loved ones that love you. Make sure you chime in with them and make sure you let them know what you've been through. It is I, your gracious host, King Crowder, back again with another edition of Live on Sunday. I love you. I want you to be safe. I want your family to know that I care about you. I want you to read. I want you to have fun. I want you to work out. And most importantly, live life, baby. I'll be back with more news, more updates. Live editions coming this August. I'm going to try to go live 30 times this month. I'm going to try. Until next time, peace.